me go to Paul in Atlanta. Hello, Paul.
Hey, Glenn, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I just wanted to call in and let you know that I sent an email to my congregation asking them where they stand on Israel and if we were going to do anything to, join with a pro-Israel organization ahead of the UN vote in September. And I've been a part of this church for 4 years. I've given to this church for 4 years. And I just said it's time to ante up. Are we going to do what Scripture asks us to do? And they finally came back and said that, they thought it was too controversial and that they didn't want to leave the mission of bringing new people into the flock. And I disagreed with the decision. So,
too controversial to follow God's commandments? Yeah.
Well, let's think this through here. First of all, there is, what is it, the United Methodist Church that came out, that one of the board members of the United Methodists put out in their newsletter that they are not standing with Israel. They are standing with the Palestinians on this. That's a phenomenal statement. But let me play devil's advocate here, and maybe not truly devil's advocate at this time. Is it wrong for a church to say, look, we teach the principles and we're not going to take any political stands?
Well, I don't understand how it's political. These are,
I don't either. But...
It's Israel. It's clear in our Scripture where we're supposed to stand at this time in history.
Well, it's also political. I mean, yes, it's talked about obviously deep in the Scriptures and everything else, and it's a very important part of faith, but it's also a political issue as well. There are a lot of people in America that aren't religious and see the importance of Israel.
But there's a lot of issues like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues like abortion.
Abortion. Yeah, you can't avoid them.
Also all those things you can't avoid this one. And if it separates you, then I guess it separates you. But isn't that the point? Yeah. I mean, you're going to be separated. A rabbi, we were talking to a rabbi the other day, and he said something about, people ask about where is the Jewish community? And he said, how many people left with Moses? It was about 600,000. How many people left? How many Jews actually remained? He said to me that he felt that it was probably about a third that left. That is the same with all people. There's only about how many Americans did the American Revolution? They were here. They saw it. They saw the same. There was only about 20%. So you're going to separate yourself when you take stands and you're looking towards the future and you're trying to do the right thing. You will stand relatively alone, but you can win if you are, if you're on the right side. If you're on the right side and you stand together. So what are you going to do, Paul?
Well, I told them I don't fault them, I don't judge them, but that I feel like I'm being asked to go elsewhere. I can't deny my faith. I can't deny, what's in my heart. So there's a Messianic temple here in Atlanta that I think I'm going to go back to. I've gotten back involved in Kufi and, Christians United for Israel and International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, and I'm just going to ask God to show me where to stand.
So wait a minute. So Paul, wait. Are you Jewish?
No, I'm a Christian Zionist.
Christian Zionist, okay. And you're going to a church. You found a church as a Christian Zionist. You've gone to a church that doesn't see.
It's an evangelical church that's really their tagline is "This is a church for the unchurched." And Glenn, this is the largest congregation in America from a head count standpoint. My wife made her public profession of faith on Good Friday there. It's very important to me that this church, keeps doing what it's doing. But me as a Christian, I finally had to find out where the leaders stand on Israel.
Yeah.
Because it's been in my heart for years. The Jewish people and Israel as a state, it's been in my heart for years, and I needed to know if I was going to continue on with them. And I mentioned what you were doing in Jerusalem and said ahead of the UN vote in September, where do you guys stand? Are we going to do something as Christians? And their answer is they'd rather continue to, I don't think they want to be controversial because they want to keep drawing people into the fold. I understand, but...
Paul, I tell you that you just keep listening and you keep following your heart, and doing what you believe is the right thing, and make sure that it is peaceful and loving, and you will remain on the right track, and the right church will find you, and you will find the right church. With that being said, make sure you're listening, because you will not believe. I mean, I'm telling you, amazing things are happening. Next week, we're going to make some announcements of some of the people